Hey there, it's Kimberly here with Knit for Brains, and today we're just going to be talking about some WIPs and some things that I got going on and some things that I finished, so stay tuned for this next episode. I want you to go ahead and grab yourself a cup of coffee, tea, water, whatever it is that's your favorite beverage. I've got mine right here. This one's going to be kind of, not super long, but I have some really fun, cool things to talk about. So I got my coffee, and no way sponsorship, but this is this coffee by a company called Bones, and they're so good. And this coffee is called Bananas Foster. And so this is my little thing. This is my new little mug. So I'm just going to go ahead and pour myself some coffee. I don't usually drink. I have maybe a cup a day. I'm drinking more than I used to. Sometimes I like to drink it, like early afternoon, maybe like 1 or 2 when I'm sitting down to start my crochet day, which is usually about, 1 or 2 in the afternoon. And I work on all my little projects, and that's typically when I have my cup of coffee. So this is my Bananas Foster. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. It actually tastes like Banana Foster. They also have it like in mint. They have this one that is a chocolate orange that tastes just like a Terry's chocolate orange. Oh my gosh. The reason I chose the banana today, I have to share this with you guys. I figure, you crochet and we knit. You probably cook too. I'm like a gourmet. I like to cook. The Brit does more cooking than I do, but there's a new book that just came out. All right. So we don't talk a lot about cooking, but this lady right here, I'm just the biggest fan. I have almost all of her cookbooks. Garten. Absolutely, I love her. I love the way it's simple. Everything you make is just spot on. And so this is her brand new book that came out, and it's called Be Ready When the Luck Happens. And I was on the waiting list for this, pre-ordered it months ago. We're getting ready to go on, another trip. This is a biggie, so I'll be talking about that one here a little bit. But anyways, and usually I do Audible. I read, I listen to the books while I'm crocheting. But this one, I was like, this is special. So I actually ordered the hard copy of this. And lo and behold, I ended up getting the Audible version included with the hard copy. So sometimes it pays to do a pre-order. Anyways, I absolutely just love her. And this is her memoir. It's not a cookbook, but I think that there are actually, I did hear that there were some recipes in here somewhere. It is all I can do to not open this book because we're leaving on our next trip in a couple days, and I'm saving it for the plane. Anyways, so I'm watching this show that she's got, and it's been out for a while, so you guys might say, geez, it's been out for a long time, but it's called Be My Guest, where it's not really so much the cooking show by herself, but she brings on celebrities or, different notorious people in a good way. And she kind of interviews them, right? But their background and her background, and then they cook together. So it's called Be My Guest. Well, she was doing a show with Erin Scott, I believe is her name. Correct me. Sorry if I said that wrong. She's the one that has a restaurant in, I think it's Maine, and you have to send in a postcard, and she's on the Magnolia Network and whatever else. Honestly, I haven't really paid much attention to her. I'm not that familiar with her. Erin French, I think is her name. Erin French. Sorry about that. Anyways, so she was interviewing Erin French, and there's a friend of mine who'll be like, Erin French to her is like Ina is to me. She's like, oh my gosh. So I apologize. But anyways, and she was making these muffins, and they're called Banana Crunch Muffins. Ina was making them to give to Erin when she showed up. And I was sitting there on the couch watching going, oh my God, those things sound so good. I don't know what it was about it. And so the Brit, I made him go out with me to the store the next day and get all the ingredients to make these Banana Crunch Muffins. So I'm drinking my Banana Foster coffee with my Banana Crunch muffin. Now I only cut half because these things are big. Oh my God. Let me tell you so it's a little bit on the frozen side because they're so good we didn't want them to go bad, so we put them in the freezer. Oh, these things are so, Oh. Okay, I'm just going to read you the recipe. And I'll include a link in the comments if you want to try this recipe, because it is to die for. Banana Crunch Muffins and a Garten. And it's super easy. So your basic, like your, what the Brit would say, your American sponge, right? Flour, sugar, baking powder, baking soda, salt, unsalted sugar, eggs, whole milk. Right, that's your basic stuff. Vanilla, right? Then you put in 1 cup of mashed ripe bananas, which is like 2 bananas mashed up. All right, so it's going to be kind of like a banana bread. Then you add in 1 cup of medium diced ripe banana. So I did another banana, diced it up into squares. 1 cup of small diced walnuts, 1 cup of granola, 1 cup of sweetened shredded coconut. I used unsweetened coconut, and I'm telling you, I did not miss it at all. And then you put a little banana chip or shredded granola or shredded coconut on the top. I put little banana chips, but I found this granola at my local, it's like a small little grocery. It's not really it's more like an independent, right? It's not really like a health food store. And they had banana nut granola that had walnuts in it and granola and these banana chips. So I picked up the banana chips, put them on top, but oh my God, the crunch and the sweet. And I use, like I said, unsweetened coconut. You can use the sweetened if you want. I just didn't need that much sweet, but it was so good. Even the Brit was like, I don't like muffins. I don't do it. And I made big jumbo ones because I just wanted a big muffin with a cup of coffee. That's, in the afternoon, that's all I wanted. No. He says, I don't want them. Okay, fine. So we took like a sliver of the one I was eating. Next thing you know, that whole muffin was gone. Next thing you know, the next day, another muffin, gone. I'm like, excuse me. He's like, those are actually really good. I'm like, I know. So, banana crunch muffins with my Banana Foster coffee. And I just do it straight up black. This coffee is so good. It has so much flavor. I don't like to add milk and creamer and sugar and all that stuff typically. But this, you just drink straight black. Oh my gosh, it's so good. And it's starting to get a little on the fall side outside, which I'm excited about. So, I'm packing this baby for our next trip. Very excited. And the other foodie show that I love this guy. He's, come on! When he eats something, cracks me up. I do it all the time, and the Brit's like, oh. Anyway, so this is Phil Rosenthal. The show is on Netflix. Somebody feed Phil. And this book was on offer on Amazon. And basically it talks about his travels, and then it's got some recipes, which is so cool. And I just love him. He just looks so sweet. He's just like everybody's dad, right? He was the executive producer for Everybody Loves Raymond. That's kind of how he got a start. He's just funny. The guy cracks me up all the time. Anyways, okay, so our next big trip that we're doing, and this one is kind of epic, which I'm leading into. We are flying to Singapore. And we're going to be in Singapore for 3 nights and like 2 days. And then we're getting on a cruise ship and we're sailing home from Singapore. But we're going through, okay, let me just do it in the right order. We're leaving Singapore. We're going to Thailand. We're stopping in 2 places in Thailand. And then we have like a day at sea. And then we are doing 2 days in Vietnam. I'm so excited. I've never been to any of these places. They are going to be so different from anything that I have ever been used to. And then from Vietnam, we are going to Taiwan. And then from there, we're going to Hong Kong. And then Hong Kong, we are going to Japan. And we're going 2 days in Japan. We're going to Tokyo and one other place. I can't remember. The Brit will probably put his little corrections in here and correct me and tell me, he helps. And then from there, we're sailing to Hawaii. We're doing 2 days in Hawaii. And then we sail home. I hope to be doing some lives or at least some videos while we're gone. I'm excited to be seeing what I can find. But even still, I'll at least be posting pictures onto the community page, sort of like I do, like here we are here and there. But I'm very excited. So this one here, he did a whole segment on Singapore. And I am so excited to go there in Singapore. This one. And I want to go, they're called the Hacker Markets, and this is like the food markets. And so the famous thing that they're known for is something called chili crab, which is they take a big crab and then they steam it and they put like this sweet chili sauce over the top of it. And then the other thing they have that's apparently really popular is called chicken rice. This guy. So we're doing all of that. all of that. And then we got to go and try out the Singapore Sling, which is where it started, the actual drink Singapore Sling. So we're going there and we're spending a couple days there and I'm just so excited. So these two books, and this is a little bit heavy, so maybe not this one, probably the Ina book, but then I've also got it on Audible now, so I don't really know. All right, so that's that. That's the whole tie-in with the bananas, the banana coffee, and just that it's just so delicious and so amazing. It's just like banana bread on crack. So if you don't like banana bread, you're probably out of luck. If you don't like coconut, leave it out. It's fine. It's so good. All right. Let's talk about some of my WIPs. Y'all were so funny because I put it out there. I was like, what do I do with the clown hair? And to be honest, when I was doing the video, I was like, I've got to get rid of the clown hair. So I kind of knew I wasn't going to keep the clown hair in there, but we were all in agreement, 100%. Let me show you what I finished, which I absolutely love. It was just a very simple shawl with an eyelet pattern. And I used, and this thing worked up so fast, I used the Firehole Falls or Firehole River, I think it was called, which are these beautiful reds, oranges, and whatever. And then I just did a double crochet in the V. And then I brought it down into the eyelet stitch here. And then I tied in the Jackson Lake, which was the blues and the greens together. I think it's beautiful. These are two of my favorite colors together, are the copper and the teal. I just love those colors. And then what I did was I had a little bit left and I just added the fringe on the ends here. So what I might do, I have a twister. I might twist the fringe. I may not. I don't know. But I was wanting something that when we go out and watch the movies under the stars on the ship that I could, because sometimes it gets cold, whatever, I could just wrap this around me. Watch it. Isn't it pretty? I love it. Absolutely love how this came out. Definitely was very, very happy that I did not include the clown hair, which brings me to my next point. But I just wanted to show you. So this is how it came out. Oh, and then I added a little tassel there at the bottom. It was just the fastest. I could do this without even like looking down pretty much. So this is going to be coming with me on the trip. And I'm loving this. Like I said, I might do the tassels. I may not. But here it is. Sans the clown hair. What's this clown hair you're talking about? This guy. This yarn. And it was the same dyer, the same indie dyer as this guy. And I got this in Jackson, Wyoming. Those colors were Jackson Lake and Firehole River. And this one was called Grand Prismatic Springs, which is sort of like the real big popular spring in Yellowstone, which I was very excited about. But when I was mixing it with it, I mean, you guys are right, and it does not go together. So I'm going to do this in something else, and I'm not really sure just what yet. It might just be like a really simple cowl or something. I do love the color. I really do, but it just did not go with those guys. So this is clown hair, if you're wondering. I might bring this with me on the trip. I did pack up I balled up my yarns yesterday. Oh my gosh. Balling up yarn. Ooh, I hate it because it just gets tangled and whatever. But I got to show you what I've got, and then I'm going to show you some patterns. So I have had this particular yarn for years. I bought it. There was a yarn store that was local that was closing, and I was like, all right. And I managed to get 5 skeins of this, and they're not huge. And this is, I mean, hello, where is it? This is me on a typical day. So for me to buy 5 skeins of this, I'm like, this is not me. But we need to grow up sometimes and be a little elegant. And that's what I'm thinking that's going to be. This yarn is called Silky Wool. I don't remember what I paid. All I know that it was closing out, so I got 5 skeins, and it must have been a good deal, otherwise I wouldn't have got it. But it is a yarn. It's 45% wool, and it's 35% silk, 20% nylon. But it's very light, and it has a little bit of a nubby thing going on, which I love. It's a beautiful, beautiful yarn. Let me see if I can just get you to focus in on that. Oh, that's better. There we go. It's just this beautiful, and I just feel like it's got this elegance to it. Okay. It is by, it's called Faded Terracotta. It says Elizabeth Lavold is the brand, I guess. And I thought it was made in Italy. I think it's an Italian yarn. Somewhere I saw that in one of the other tags. Anyways, so I've been looking at this and I was like, something has to be special to make it. I've got a couple other ones like this one. I love. It's a Lana Lang yarn. So, but I have a lot of these and I don't know. There's just something about this that looks very pretty and just, I don't know, elegant to me. So whatever I do with this, it's going to be something, you know, kind of like that. And I've got a lot of those sitting up there, probably enough to make like a sweater or something. I've only got 5 skeins of this and each skein only has 175 meters. So it's not a lot. I have enough maybe to make like a cowl or a scarf, something along those lines. So I got this. So let me show you. This pattern came across, I think it came on Facebook. So you guys may have seen it. I don't know. But it all of a sudden kind of blew up a little bit. And I just fell in love with it. And of course, now I printed it in black and white, so you'll have to forgive me. It's called the Rainforest Scarf. But do you guys see that? It's got this really pretty like leafy print going on in it. And she did this. It's very similar to this one, the foliage leaf scarf. But it had another rib on the outside. And I thought, you know, that could be really pretty if I was going to just like a long drapey cowl with it that could like kind of drape around the neck. So I think I'm going to be doing this Rainforest Scarf. And if you're interested, it's an Etsy pattern, but I will include the link in the show notes. I'm trying to see if I can find a really, because I like to try to print in, you know, black and white if possible, to save on ink. And that's what I think I did here. Let me see if I can find you a really pretty, she's got really nice pictures in here besides that one. I mean, I guess this is okay. So you guys can sort of see what's happening here. And it's interesting, but I've never done anything like this. It's a leaf repeat. And you basically, you kind of go in half. It's a lot of back loops. You go in half and then you kind of do like this graduated thing. So I'm thinking of bringing this with me. And I'm thinking I might be using this guy here with it. I think it was very pretty when she used just the one color. So I got that. All right. So I rolled those babies yesterday. No bueno, but I did it. I got it done. And then I don't know, I found these other ones. I just kind of sometimes like go through my stash and I was like, that's pretty. That's pretty. And I happen to have 2 skeins of each of these. So the first one that I got, I don't remember where I got it from, but the company is called Yarn Love, yarnlove.com. She's an independent dyer. I liked her label. This is called Goldilocks and it's a fingerling weight. It's Goldilocks fingerling is what it is, but the color is called Fairy Tale. That makes more sense. It is 80% superwash merino wool, 10% cashmere, and 10% nylon. And it is 375 yards per ball. So this would also be really cool with that leaf pattern. I might change my mind. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with it. But the other 2 patterns, and these are very similar patterns to that one. This one's called the Leafy Scarf, which I thought was beautiful in a variegated. Really pretty. Again, something I've never tried before. So we'll be doing this together if you're interested. It just looks like, again, a back loop only. And then you kind of go in half and then come back out and in half and back out and something like that. And they have some pretty good instructions and so forth here. So, although this person, she was pretty gnarly / grumpy about her. It says here, please do not sell, copy, share, translate to another language or publish this pattern or parts of it. Also, please do not use this pattern for making any kind of a video tutorial. This pattern is for your private use. Sharing of this pattern in any way is considered a felony and it will be punished as an intellectual theft. Pretend I didn't show that to you. Oh. She sounds a little grumpy. I don't know. Maybe I'll do something. She sounded nicer. Maybe I'll just do this pattern in a solid and a variegated and see how they work. She sounds nice. Louis Mila. Yeah, but that lady, she sounded kind of mean. Is that it? You know, I mean, hello, we're all supposed to be friendly. For heaven's sakes. So forget it. I'm I'm not going to do that pattern. I'm going to do this one. Anyways, and I'm going to use my Yarn Love, which is like 600 yarn, which is plenty for this. But this could be really pretty. You can do it in either variegated or in a solid. Whew. There you go. Snooze, you lose, lady. Anyways, the second one that I got, that I literally just went into my stash. It's like, those. So these are kind of all similar-ish. Is this one. Give it to me. All right. I think I got this from Hobie. 99% positive I got it from Hobie. It is. It's a Hobie. And it's called Unicorn. And it's 75% merino wool and 25% polyamide. So you could use this for socks if you wanted to. It is 75% virgin wool, which means it is the first shearing. I have just realized this. And 25% polyamide. It is 437 yards per ball. And I have 2. Isn't that pretty? It's kind of like a bubblegummy color. I liked it. I thought it was really pretty. It doesn't, these two do not go together. I think these are too close to go together. I think they're a little too close. Who knows? Maybe I'll just make 2 scarves. Maybe I'll make 3 scarves. I don't know. Maybe I'll come back with yarn. Who knows? Thinking of bringing these yarns. Now, this could be a good clown hair pattern. Maybe I'll bring like one other pattern because I could get bored with this one. We'll wait and see. But I didn't like the other lady. She was mean. I'm really sorry that I even bought her pattern. And I bought it too. I paid money for that dang pattern. She wasn't very nice. So I think these are the yarns I'm taking with me on the trip. Pretties. Very pretties. Okay. Let me show you what I have been working on. So you guys saw the shirt that I finished for the sun. If you want to know what I'm talking about, I'll include the link to the pattern tutorial that I'm doing and you can see the shirt. The next thing that I'm doing, and I'll probably do a separate thing for this as well, and this is almost done, the stupid dress that, and I call it stupid, but I made one, that Taylor Swift was wearing, and it was this crocheted granny stitch, vertical stripe. She was getting into the car with her boyfriend or whatever it was. Oh my God, it just blew up all over. And I was like, that's actually a really, really cute dress. And I thought, okay, Kimberly, rectangle in the front, rectangle in the back, rectangle sleeves, we got it. So I'm making it. So I basically finished the front and the back, and I'm going to try it on and I'll show you guys. And then I finished the sleeve. So all I have to do now is one more sleeve. Now, in the picture, her sleeves go all the way, way, way down here. And I didn't. I mean, I guess I could change it up if I really wanted to make them long. But I did, and then I'd have to add more. No, I actually like as a 3/4. I think that's okay. But the other ones were like super long. So I'm going to keep it the way that this is. So simple. So simple. Vertical granny stripe. And I used my favorite yarn that you guys know, the universal yarn. It's 100% Egyptian cotton. Love the way it hangs. And I'll keep using it until it's done. I'm going to keep using it on garments. I probably have another, I'm looking at my stash over here. I could probably do another maybe 3 garments with what I've got left. I made the cardigan for my son's girlfriend, and then I made one for my son, and I'm making this for myself, and I might make one for the Brit or something like that, because I think he would look really nice. I've got some navy blue and some kind of like a claret color. That could be really, really nice. Yeah, like the stripes. And if it's navy blue, because he's like, oh, I don't know if I could wear that, but I think it could look really nice on him. So hold on. Let me show you how this one's turning out. All right. So here you go. And this is just 2 vertical stripe, granny striped rectangles, front and back. Very simple. I bought this little slip thingy on Amazon because you got to have something underneath. And then the sleeves are going to go on right here. Just going to sew that baby on. So it's just going to go. So the sleeve's going to be like a 3/4, which is perfect, right? So that's going to hang down. I gave it a little bit of loose in here. And then once the sleeve is on, then I'm just going to sew up the sides. So it's kind of like a little sheath dress. So it's going to kind of attach right here and then just sews up together down the sides. But I loved it. I thought it was so cute. So I will show you the finished product when it's all done, which should be shortly. And I'm planning on bringing it onto the cruise. But love how this yarn is working up. It was called Rusted Apricot, Dusty Rose, and Custard. Now, in the picture that Taylor Swift is wearing, I think there's like a lighter purple and a yellow. Well, you know, here's the picture so you guys can see, but you can use any color you want. I could even have done this in a straight solid if I wanted to, solid colors and not have the stripes. I liked the stripes. But I think it's a cute, just like a little autumn sheath. And you can't see the length, but it comes right about to the knees. I think when she had on the dress, I think it came just like mid-thigh. I'm too old for a mid-thigh dress. Just above the knee is perfectly fine for me. Thank you very much. That is cute. It's very cute. So this one shall be done quickly. But honestly, I made this in like a week, I think it was. And then, like I said, it's just going to hang down the sides like so. So I'm doing a tutorial on this as well. That's going to go on the underneath part like that. So if you guys are interested, you can see how this goes together. So a lot of you have been asking, like, do you have a pattern? I only do patterns. I did find a pattern for this dress on Lion Brand, and it was free. So I'm going to include the link to that if you're just like, I really just need to have a pattern. I totally get it. But I would see dresses mostly on Pinterest, or I'd be shopping because, you know, the granny square look and crochet look is so huge right now. You can pretty much go anywhere and find it. And I would just start taking pictures with my phone, you know, like really close up to get the stitches and the whole length and as many pictures as I could figure out. And then I would just figure out the stitch they used, right? Vertical granny stripe, very simple. And then I go, okay. And then you can basically, you can just Google, and in the pattern tutorial that I did, I've had the standardized, if you go to the American, I think it's the Yarn Council or something, if you want just like really good, standard, accurate, they have charts. If you want a woman's large, it'll show you, here's what the measurements are in the bust. This is like a 12 to a 14 or an 8 to a 10 or extra larges, whatever. This is the measurements for the bust. This is the measurements for the waist. This is the measurements for the hip, whatever. And they're basically pretty standard. So if you know those measurements, you know, or you just go, okay, my measurements are here, around here. I knew that I had to make the stripes this wide, you know, and I didn't want it to be super fitted. So I added a little bit extra. It's not hard. I have been making my own garments without a pattern probably for the last, let's say 2 years. And I've made a lot with patterns. Don't mistake that. I made a sweater or shirt for my cousin that was like a granny squares, and it was based off of a Lucky. It was a Lucky brand that she, you know, and it looked great, fit her great. But she wasn't there in front of me, so I had to kind of like wing and go, I think I'm gonna go with a large. It's, you know, just because you want to be a little bit blousy and stuff. So my suggestion is just give it a shot. Try it. Take a look at it and then break it down. Okay, that is the granny strip. Right? It's a vertical stripe. It's very simple. Okay. And that's how you get you want the colors to come down this way. And I know what my measurements are. I did my measurements and then I made it. I made a strip, one of the rectangles. I measured it. I was like, I need a little bit more on each side. I did it. I sewed together the top. So it came together like a poncho, like you just saw. I'm like, yeah, it's good. Sewed it up together. And so I say it's not difficult, but I can appreciate people go, but it is difficult. It make it look so easy. It's okay. I wouldn't even consider myself an expert crocheter. I wouldn't. And I can do it. And if I can do it, you can do it. You can do it. I know you can. But I am doing a tutorial on this one as well. But like I said, the pattern is on Lion's Brand. I found it. It's very similar. They use a different yarn, but that's fine. But I just wanted to, you know, I did kind of double check my work, make sure there was nothing that I was missing, no weird shaping or anything like that. Very simple. And so I will include that, but you can do it. You really can. There's nothing special. There's no shaping, increasing, decreasing, none of that. If you are doing the increase, decrease, well, then I understand. You probably want to do anything. Case in point, last thing I'm going to show you, second to the last thing I'm going to show you. Let's just be clear. My guilty pleasure is yarn, period. My guilty pleasure of the type of yarn is this guy. I love Noro. I love, you guys probably know by now, I'm just a huge natural fiber person. I love the natural fibers. And this one is no exception. And I got this a while ago. I might have got it from Little Knits, which is an online group out of Seattle. This is called Uchiwa, Uchiwa. Uchiwa. It is 50% cotton, 30% viscose, and 20% silk. This is going to be really good for the warmer weather that we have here. It's a weight of 4, and each ball, these are called the big balls, and they are 500 meters. But look at those colors. Blues, purples, yellows, and the texture of this yarn. Oh my God. And the variegation. I'm just a huge Noro fan. I just am. It's fandom. It's Noro fandom, I tell you. Anyways, so I got this yarn, and I bought 4 balls of it, and then I found this pattern, which was made with this yarn. And this is just a series of granny squares that are all sewn together, which I thought looked pretty interesting. So I might make this pattern here. I might decide I want something just totally different, but I don't know. This kind of has a cool vibe to it. It looks like it's a lot of front post double crochets. If you look closely at that, that to me looks like a front post double crochet. Anyways, it uses this yarn. It calls for, I think, 3 balls of it. And it calls for 3 balls. I have 4 balls. Oh, times 200 grams, which I think is what these are. I'm positive that's what these are. Yeah, 200 grams. So I only need 3 of these. I got 4. So this could be another work in progress that I got coming down the pike. And once again, okay, now this one here is just a series of squares, granny squares. This is a rectangle. This is a rectangle. And this here is a rectangle. And now this might be a little bit fancy. But it doesn't look difficult. So this might be coming with me on the trip as well. That's a lot of yarn. That's a lot of projects. We'll see. I might have to sacrifice one for the other. But, so this is another potential work coming up in progress. Isn't that gorgeous? This color here they used, I think it was called 08. It was more turquoises, teals, blues, greens, seafoam colors. Mine's are more gorgeous. Darks and purples and reds and just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Nice for the winter. Yeah. So there you go. And the last thing. Now this is the last thing that I'm going to show you guys because we've been on for a little while. Brie goes, it's too long. I'm like, they don't care. I don't always do a long video. I was very excited. I got invited to be a pattern tester for Sweet Softies, and she does a lot of amigurumis. And it's a sweet little fox mug rug. Isn't that cute? Now she's using, I feel like it feels like Bliss from Lion Brand Yarn, which I don't have any. And I wasn't about to go out and buy any, but I did have some scrappy yarn. This looks very, very simple. So I have to make this up this week because of the deadline. I think I have to have it done by, I don't know, like the 14th or something. So I'm going to just do it this week, get it done, but I'll show you. So what I did have that was the same weight and similar, because she has 2. She has this fox, and then she has what she calls an Arctic fox. So it's going to be like more of the blues and the whites and stuff. But it was so cute. So I have this stuff that I got, and it is by Adore Plymouth Yarns. So I've got it in the reds and the yellows. I figured, well, that's good. I mean, unless I'm going to make Elmo, which actually, that's actually not a bad idea. But I don't have enough red. I've only got a little bit of red. Otherwise, I would totally make an Elmo. I love Elmo. And then this orange. So I'm probably going to do the fox in these 2 colors. But I also have, I have it in this teal blue. And I have this stuff that I got from Premier. It's Little Bunny Multis. So that those 2 colors could be cute together if I was going to do the Arctic Fox, just to do a pattern test. But, this kind of looks like it would go together. So I've got those colors. So I've got like these. And this could be interesting. This is a Miss Sparkle by Hobie. So I really wanted to go all fancy. I could go these 2 guys together as well. Or I could just do, yeah. So anyways, I just was pulling through yarns yesterday, balling up some yarns, and then grabbing, like for the next projects, because that's what I do. I finish a project, then I go through my stash. I'm like, what do I have in here? What can I make? So this could be fun for the little Arctic fox, but I think I'm going to she uses some black. I don't really have any black. of this furry stuff. But, so, because she says you can use whatever colors you want. So it's this cute little foxy, and you put your mug on it. So when it's done, I'll be having it sit here in my office, in my craft room, in our creative space, shall we call it. And I make the little mug rug. And that could be a cute little, like a, you know, stocking stuffer or a Hanukkah gift or something like that. All right. Well, that's all I have for today's WIPs and projects. But stay tuned because I will be doing a more tutorial on this guy. If you're just absolutely like, it's beautiful, but I gotta have a pattern, I will include the tutorial. I will include the pattern for the Lines brand. I'll try to remember to put it here. And I think that's all the patterns I said I was going to include, isn't it? Oh, I am definitely going to include the recipe for the banana crunch muffins because they're amazing. Isn't this pretty? Please like and subscribe to my channel. Like this video, share it with other people, let them see what we're doing. If you want to know more about what's happening with Project Welcome Home, stay tuned. And you can always check out the playlist, Project Welcome Home, because that's what's going on over there. If you want to see more tutorials, you can check out the playlist tutorials as well. And then check out the community page, because that's where I'm going to be posting stuff about our trips and whatever else we got coming up. Thanks so much for watching. This is Kimberly with Knit for Brains. And as always, I'll see you soon.